Are we blessed to have Philip? Are we blessed? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I am excited today to introduce our guest reverend. Most of you know her and know of her, but I'm going to quickly share her biography. It is my honor to do that. Reverend Barbara White was ordained as a religious science minister in 1999 when she was 12. And now Centers for Spiritual Living, CSL, is now what religious science is called. She was a senior minister in Downey, California, later senior minister at CSL in Bakersville, California, and she wised up and came back to Texas. So she's been a frequent contributor to the Science of Mind magazine, a featured contributor to the book New Thought, A Practical Spirituality. She is the author of Imagine the Possibilities, an inspirational guide to daily living. In 2002, she was inducted into the Martin Luther King Board of Preachers, Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. Wow. Upon returning to Dallas in 2016, she has spoken at Unity of Dallas several times, as well as Unity of Greenville, and has taught numerous Seekers classes here at Unity of Dallas. And so for all of those credentials and because we love you, let's welcome Reverend Barbara White. Who looks gorgeous today, by the way.
What would we do without Ann, huh? Ann and Bo and Stephen. Thank you, Ann, and thank you for remembering the correct date of my life, my birth. How many are here for the first time? I know Carol, are you here for the first time?
Oh, no.
Oh, she's an oldie but goodie. Anybody else? Well, special welcome to my daughter. Excuse me, this is not her first time here. My daughter, Kelly White, thank you. She's living in Florida right now, but is coming back home. She's a native Dallasite. Yes. And I want to thank Jen Markley for putting me together today. It's always good to have someone do that. So happy Mother's Day. Let's start with a little joke, which I love to do. Every woman needs 5 men. In case you were wondering. She needs a man that's going to love her, for sure. She needs a man that is going to be a lot of fun, make her laugh. She needs a man who is a great father. She needs a great provider. And most of all, she needs that these 4 never meet together. So Aaron went through the mothers and the grandmothers, and aren't we blessed? Some of us have these great memories of our moms. However, I have never in my life, unless they were medicated, met a mother who has said, I did it perfectly. Not one error. It was all perfect, all good. Well, but what I have met time after time and have gone through in my own life, if only, what if? If I would have known better, I would have done better. If only I could have found Center for Spiritual Living or Unity at a young age, how different my life would have been with my children. But that was not the case. So I go, and I hope you're all with me. We go from here, and we be the best mothers, whether we're a father that's a mother, an aunt that's a mother, a grandmother, mother of our fur babies. We be the best mothers we know how. St. Paul said something really wonderful, and I'm going to paraphrase him because it has helped me so much. He said, I leave the past behind, and with arms outstretched to whatever lies ahead, I go straight for the goal. And that's our goal, isn't it? We're going to go straight for the goal. What's past is past. And here we are in this magnificent church that doesn't tell us that we are an original sinner. It tells us that we are an original blessing. We are here to make the world better. We are here to be mothers to the world because it takes a village. And right now, the world needs mothers and the mother energy more than it ever has before. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore founded Unity in 1989. And Charles was the wisdom, the writer, and not that Myrtle was not the wisdom also, but she was the heart. And we've gotten away from the heart. Feminism came in and a lot of things, but I don't care again. Father is the mother, it's all confused right now, but we all have that mother energy. It's the energy of the heart. And scientists are telling us now that the heart is connected to the brain. The heart is actually just as smart as the brain because it has all of this intuition in it, and we want to be heart people, not to disclaim that we're wisdom keepers, because we are, but it's the mother's heart that needs to open. The world needs us desperately right now. So I'd like to read something that I just love, and then we'll go on with our talk. This is a tribute to mothers by a woman named Amy Young. To those who gave birth this year to their first child, we celebrate you. To those who lost a child this year, we mourn with you. To those who are in the trenches with little ones every day and wear a badge of food stains, we appreciate you. To those who experience loss through miscarriage, failed adoptions, or running away, we mourn with you. To those who walk the hard path of infertility, fraught with pokes, prods, tears, and disappointments, we walk with you. Forgive us when we say foolish things. We didn't mean to make this harder for you. To those who are foster moms, mentor moms, and spiritual moms, we desperately need you. To those who have warm and close relationships with your children, we celebrate you. To those who have disappointment, heartache, and distance with your children, we sit with you. To those who lost their mothers this year, we grieve with you. And to those who experience abuse at the hands of your own mother, we acknowledge your experience. To those who lived through driving tests, medical tests, and the overall testing of motherhood, we are better for having you in our midst. To those who have adopted children, we remember them and you on this day. To those who are single and long to be married and mothering your own children, we mourn that life that has not turned out the way you long for it to be. To those who step-parent, we walk with you on a very complex path. To those who envisioned lavishing love on grandchildren, yet that dream is not to be, we grieve with you. To those who have emptier nests in the upcoming year, we grieve and we rejoice with you. To those who place children for adoption, we commend you for your selflessness and remember how you hold that child in your heart. For those who are pregnant with new life, both expected and surprising, we anticipate with you. This Mother's Day, we walk with you. Mothering is not for the faint of heart. We have real warriors in our midst. Isn't that beautiful? We remember you. I just love that. So, the gift of our mothers. You know, again, some of us had perfect mothers. Well, never ever perfect, but perfect mothers, the ones who tried the best they knew how. And even the ones that failed in many ways, but did their best. Perhaps drugs, alcohol, whatever. But still, when I've met these women in rehab centers, wherever, one of the first things they'll say, if I could have only done better with my children. That mother's love is always there, always prevalent. So the gift of our mothers is our life. We are here today. You know, without, am I doing it? Who knows? I'm going to talk like this. For those, anyway, we are so grateful, whether they're real mothers, our birth mothers, our adopted mothers. They have given, really, our birth mothers gave us life. And for that, we will be eternally grateful. We are breathing today, and we are here today. So I'd like to go through a couple of things, basic things, and then we're going to kick it upstairs. There was a woman, a great metaphysician, her name was Emma Curtis Hopkins, and she was the teacher of teachers. She taught all of Ernest Holmes, from religious science to the Fillmores. She taught all the great metaphysicians in that age. A little woman that would come in with her hat and her gloves in Chicago in the late 1800s. Now imagine that. And she'd have hundreds of people in the room. And she would say, okay, we're at a human level right now. Let's kick it upstairs. And that's what we're here for. But let's just talk about a few things right now on 4 basic needs. And this is the psychiatrist and great not metaphysician, but great philosopher, Anthony DeMello, in his books. He writes the 4 basic needs that we all need. So let's just see what I can do here. Let's see if it will. Okay, good. This is new for me. So the 4 basic things we need. We need acceptance. We need approval. We need appreciation. And we need applause. All of those things. The 4 A's. So let's look at acceptance for a moment. You know, from the moment children are born and their mothers are holding this brand new baby, that baby is so intuitive already. Sometimes we underestimate, but they come in with a knowingness, and they can read immediately the acceptance of the mother's eyes. That's what they look for. So hopefully we all received that acceptance. Some of us did, some of us didn't. But acceptance is what we look for. And we looked for it from that primary time when our mothers held us as a tiny baby. There was a sense, am I being accepted? They know immediately. And the next is approval. As we get a little older, well, I want to just say something. Carl Jung, the great psychiatrist, said by the time children are 3 years old, they've made a basic decision. Is this world a friendly place? So by the time we're 3, that is already imprinted in our mind. So we look for approval in so many ways. The child, the tiny little baby, is looking for approval, and they sense it by the tone of the voice, by things going on. And as they get older, the little toddlers looking for approval from their parents, they come in all muddy. They're still looking for a mom that smiles and may say, stay out of the mud, but they know she approves of them, right? Let's see here. The next, appreciation. Every one of us are looking for appreciation, but especially little children. The child that comes home that has drawn a picture, looking for a mother or father to say, good job, wow, you did this? You'll probably be a great artist one day, right? We look for that. We seek that. There's something innate within us that desperately needs that. Let's see here. And then we need applause. You know, there's a darling story about a little boy, and the teacher says to him, or to the class, she said, I want you to draw a picture of your favorite person. So the little boy draws, and the teacher comes up to him, and she said, I don't quite know what your picture is. He said, well, it's a picture of God. And she said, well, how do you know? He said, well, I just know this is what God looks like. So he takes it home to his mother, and he's waiting for her to say, oh, kudos, your imagination. Some of us got that, and some of us didn't, right? You know, in my own life, I was 5 when my brother was born, and I know my parents loved me, there was no doubt. But he had many medical issues. By the time he was 3 months old, he had major brain surgery. It was 18 surgeries. And later, my mother gave me a great gift, really, to help me understand myself. She said, I forgot you for so many years. So a lot of this, while I knew I was loved, I was a little lost. I was looking for all of this, but they were so busy taking care of my brother, who needed every minute of their care, that they forgot about me. So when I came in I'm going to go back here for a second. When I came in to a religious science church, I was a mess. Now, not physically a mess. I hope I addressed that, which has nothing to do with anything. But my mind was a mess. First of all, they said, as we teach in unity, you can take a new thought and change your life, right? And I remember, now I was a smart woman at the time, and I'm not trying to brag about myself. My kids might say, Kelly might have a different opinion. But I remember thinking, there's no room in my mind for another thought. There's no more room. My mind was so busy with, you're not good enough. You'll never be good enough. No matter how your education, you'll need more. You'll always need more. People compliment you, but they don't really mean it for you. So I came in really lost. I was working. You know, Carl Jung said how we can tell if we're a good enough mother, we can work and we can love. So I knew my mother was good enough because I could work and I could love. But inside, so many of these things that I know in their hearts they meant to give me and did to some extent, except they were busy with other things. So I came in. We're going to kick this upstairs now. So what is acceptance? Let's see if we can do this. Well, we can do the offertory blessing. That's good. Talk over. Let's see if we can go back. Jen, help. Okay. So let's just go back. Well, we're back to that. Give me a sec. Okay. Let's just go back to acceptance. So we come into a unity church. Some of you came in just fully orbed, knowing all of this. But when we come into a unity church, we know that we're accepted not for who we are, but for what we are. And who are we? We are the beloved of God. That is a primary tenet of unity. One life. That life is the life of God, and that life is my life now. That means that divine spark within us is there, always wanting more, always expressing. You know, Charles Fillmore believed in reincarnation. Now, you may or you may not. That's with you. I'm just saying what Charles Fillmore believed. So if we believe that, which I do, that premise, then we came into this lifetime on purpose. We knew what we were getting into. We chose to be here at this time. And what an interesting time it is, isn't it? So, but when we come in with this God self of us. And the only thing we have to do is release it. And that door, I don't know if you remember the picture of the Christ with the door knocking, but that door always opens from the inside. How much of that God self, that creative stuff, that peace that passes human understanding, that joy will we let out? Because that is the field of all possibilities. That is the field of all potential that lies within us. And it's up to us. We make the decision every day. How much am I going to open, or how much am I going to live in doubt, in fear, and in worry? That's it. We are here for God. That is our primary purpose on this life, meaning we are here for good, we are here for prosperity, we are here for health, grace. So it's an acceptance of who we are. You know, uplift yourself today. You're not just Barbara or Louise or Kelly or whomever. We are God's emanation of itself on earth. We make a difference in life. It's like this giant kaleidoscope with lights, and each one of us represent one of the lights. And if we don't let our light shine, and if we don't have the acceptance of ourselves, not just as a human being, but as a spiritual being having a human experience, that light doesn't go on. So we have this huge kaleidoscope of life that's supposed to shine so brightly, and yet that space is dark. We don't want to leave it dark anymore. It is our charge. Since we have come down at this time, this place, the world desperately needs us to accept ourselves as the gift to life that we are. And don't ever underestimate it. Each one of us are a gift to life itself. So what a different concept we can leave with, that we can wake up with, that we can go to bed with. I am God's gift to life. Now, that's not from an ego standpoint. You know, we know people who are egotistical and blah, blah, blah. They're over there. We're here. Accept ourselves for who we are. There are days that we slip and fall and worry and doubt, but then we lift up and we remember Emma Curtis Hopkins. She said, stay upstairs. So we go back upstairs into that place where Jesus lived, where Buddha lived, where the Fillmores watch over us, where all the great saints and avatars are there waiting to give us assistance and aid. And don't forget to ask, because they are there waiting to help us. We have a design, a magnificent job, a magnificent charge in this lifetime. But we've got to accept who we are. We didn't perhaps get it all as a child. Maybe we did. Now we mother ourselves. The mother, father, God within us, that mother energy, we absolutely mother ourselves, and we accept ourselves as the human, as the one that makes mistakes all the time. We're human, but we're also that upstairs spiritual being, here for God, here for good, here to make a change in life. Now let's see if I can do this. Oh, good. One never knows, does one? Approval. So approving of ourselves. I don't know about you, but so many times I've done things and I think, if I would have known better, you know, the approval of myself isn't there. It was perhaps, now I'm not blaming anybody, I'm just saying the fact of my own life. And Reverend Michael Beckwith said something wonderful. He used to say, know your room. And what he meant by that was when you talk about yourself, if you're in a room of not very uplifted spiritual beings, they're going to take everything you say and say, oh, poor Barbara, that poor, poor woman. But what we know here in unity is there's one life. That life is God's life. And if I am feeling it, everyone else has some feeling within it, because there's only one expressing through us, right? So instead of poor Barbara, which I'm not, thank God, by the grace of God, we all have some of this. So take it for what it's worth in your own life. So we seek approval, but that approval has to come within us. It has to be that we know, yes, I made mistakes. Oh my gosh, what I did today, what I said, why did I blah, blah, blah. But the basic line is, I'm doing the best I can. Not because I am me, but because I am here for God. I have a special job in this universe. I am an integral part of life itself. So I can approve of myself, and that means I can forgive myself. I can forgive myself. And if there's any unforgiveness with our parents, we let it go. God bless them. We have life. We're here today. So it's an approval of ourselves no matter what. Yep, I fell short today. But you know what? Tomorrow's going to be better. Because tomorrow, I'm going to open that door of my consciousness just a little bit more to let that God self start to move through me. Because that is the field of all possibilities. That is the field of all potential. And that lies within each and every one of us. It's just opening up to the beauty and the grace that's within us. We make a mistake, we forgive ourselves, and we move on. You know, I've got my older son has a very busy life. A successful life in many ways. But I said to him one time, I don't know what happened, and I said to him one time, we're all stuck in this. Why are you just okay? He said, Mom, I take a look at it, I learn from it, and I just move on, you know? So we make a mistake, and you know, a mistake in Hollywood, a mistake, we can recognize it, we can say, I've learned from that, and then we move on. Because we are here for a higher purpose. I used to spiral. Anybody know about a spiral down? Oh, the queen of spirals standing right in front of you. It used to take months for me to get out of it. And now, you know, it's like a computer. Sometimes, you know, when a computer goes down, it goes back to its default settings, right? When something happens that hits a button within us, and I don't care if you were Yogananda in a former life, it happens to all of us because there's a human nature. When something hits us, that default goes back right then, and we can be 2 years old again. So it's not, Reverend Michael Beckwith, who is my teacher, my mentor, used to say, it's not that we don't go back there, it's how fast we come out. How fast we can get back to, made a mistake, not going to do that again, and we move on, right? We move on. Because if we don't, we're stuck and that light doesn't shine. My daughter Kelly has more light and brings more light into my life than I could ever hope for. I don't know what I ever did to deserve a daughter like Kelly. She just lights up my life. And I want to thank you, Kelly. You bring such light to all of us. Kelly's a psychotherapist and does really wonderful work with her clients. So thank you. All right. Now, the next one, let's see what we can do here. Appreciation. And it's appreciation of ourselves, not because I'm me, I'm wonderful, I'm here, look at me. Oh my God, no. Now, that's not to say we can look in a mirror and think, gee, I look pretty good today. That's great. But it's a different form of appreciation. Again, we're upstairs. So we appreciate ourselves for being kind. We appreciate ourselves for being generous, for being peaceful, for seeing a child on the street, perhaps in a new dress, and saying, oh, how beautiful you look today. You know, it's an appreciation for life itself. Now, there's life with a small L, right? But there's life with the big L, and that's the life. So we appreciate ourselves. Yes, for the humanness. Yeah, I did a good job today. but we appreciate ourselves because we took on the task of being here at this time and this place in a rough period in the world. There's no question about that. And we can metaphysicalize it to death. I get that. I know that. But in reality, right now, we're facing some hard things. We were the brave ones. We chose to be here now. And we chose to be here not as just, oh yeah, I'm here, and then I die. Oh my goodness, no. We appreciate ourselves for having the courage to be here, for being truly accepting the job of being mothers to all. You know, years ago, one of my favorite authors was Robert Fulghum. And in one of his books, perhaps it was Everything I Ever Knew I Learned in Kindergarten. And he said, never pass up a lemonade stand when children are selling lemonade. And if I have to drive around the block 4 times to find a parking space, appreciation for children everywhere, appreciation for each other. The world needs love. It needs appreciation, and not just a, there I go, not just a kiss, oh, no, but true appreciation from our heart, that we see them, that we hear people, not just listen. There's a difference between or just hearing. We really listen. The greatest gift we can give to others is we listen to them. So we upstairs, we have so much that we are here to give. Life is good, God is good, and make no mistake about it, each one of us are here for a unique purpose, and that is to express God as only we can do that. I can't express God like Carla can, or Stephen, or Bo, or any of us. But we each have our own unique way. The one word the universe loves is yes. 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 Because what we know in the third law of physics is a reciprocal universe. What we put out, we get back. And when we say yes to opportunities, when we say yes to being here for God today, which means being here for good, for peace, for joy, the universe has no choice but to say yes to us. And all of a sudden, synchronicities start to happen all over the place. The right people show up, the right phone call comes. The universe is, we can call it God, we can call it, as Joe Dispenza says, the great operational design. I love the universe. It's so magnificent, and it hears everything. And when we are saying yes to the opportunities, yes to life, yes to allowing God to express more as you and I, the universe bends. I think it was Kafka who always wrote such depressing things. But the one thing he said was, the universe will roll over at your feet. The universe will roll over at your feet when you are open to saying yes. And we know that. It is a benevolent universe, no matter what the appearance. So let's take one more look here. Applause. Now, some people would think, oh my gosh, I don't applause. That's ego, blah, blah, blah. Applause yourself. When you go to bed at night, you can go through the day. Gosh, I was kind to so-and-so. I said a prayer for so-and-so. Whatever it is, applause yourself, but not because we did it, oh, I'm so great, I did it, but because the God self within us, we opened up to that. So we can applause ourselves, never from ego, that's just baloney. Applause ourselves for being here, for the grace of God, for the peace of God. Wake up in the morning with an applause. God, show me what I'm to do today. Show me where you want me. Lead me where you need me, and I will follow you. That's what we're here for. So we have these wonderful things. Now I'm going to, oh good, I thought I was going to ask you for another donation. You never know. So we have an acceptance on the human level for sure approval, appreciation, and applause. But remember, kick it upstairs. Go up, join hands with Buddha, join hands with Jesus, be with the Fillmores, be with all the saints and avatars that have gone before you, and accept yourself not for who you are, but for what you are. And that is an emanation of God. Approve of yourself, because if you don't approve of yourself, we can't get anything done. If we're going through life with our head down and blah, blah, blah. No, approve of yourself because you accepted the task. You and I accepted a task to be here at this time and this place, to be a reflection for the goodness and the grace of God. And appreciate yourself, for sure, because you are here and you are that light in the kaleidoscope. So every day you can ask yourself at night, did I light up my light? Because we are, as Jesus said, ye are the light of the world. And then applause yourself. Yes, God. Yes, life. Yes, universe. I was here for you today. I did the best. Sometimes I fell down today, could have said something better, but all in all, I was here for God. I was here for good. I was here for grace. I was here to practice my unity principles, that there's one life. That life is the life of God, and that life is my life, and that life is your life, and make no mistake about it. And we create our life through our thoughts. Remember that. The universe hears every thought, and the thought that we give the most attention to catches the universe's attention. So when we are accepting ourselves, approving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, and applauding ourselves, the universe has no choice but to give us that hug. Sometimes I actually feel it, the embrace. It embraces us, and miracles start to happen. You know, Rumi once said, my favorite poet, he said, beyond any right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. Meet me there. And I get the chills every time I say it. And that field is the field of all possibilities. It is the field of all healing. It is the field of the peace that passes all human understanding. And it is the field of joy, not happiness. Happiness can be fleeting, but that deep and abiding joy, knowing if God be for me, what could ever be against me? And I just want to end with this from Isaiah, which I love so much. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on the wings of eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. And that's what we are today on this Mother's Day. We celebrate, we rejoice the mother energy within us, and we go forth and we soar with the wings of eagles, knowing who we are and what we're here for, and that is to be here for God, for good. So let's take a deep breath, and let's just move back into that field for a moment. I don't know what your field looks like. It may look like a valley. It may look like snow mountains. Maybe you're by a river or a stream. And just imagine yourself in that field, because it is the field of all possibilities and all healing. So just take a deep breath, letting all the plans for today go. Anything that has gone behind us, just let it go. It doesn't matter. Just breathe into that field. Feel the energy of that field, because that is the field of energy. And see yourself surrounded in joy. See yourself in beauty, the beauty of the rose. See yourself in perfect health. See yourself as the living blessing to life that you have come to be. And take a deep breath with me. Let's soar on the wings of eagles. Happy Mother's Day. God bless you all.